This particular plaque is the original text for the Audre Lorde plaque that I wrote, God, almost 4 or 5 years ago, has been embellished a number of times and expanded a number of times. It is thrilling to be able to actually, I think for a lot of us here right now, this is the one with the big emotional wallop. I'll go stand over here. Anyway, I would like to introduce Dr. Robin Mitchell from DePaul University, who not only assisted us in this particular plaque, but also on the James Baldwin plaque, which is across the street. Dr. Mitchell.
Thank you. Can you all hear me back there? Is this okay? Okay. Good afternoon. It is with a bit of trepidation that I stand here today in honor of actually 2 women, Audre Lorde and Vernita Gray, on whose behalf the plaque appears before you today, and in whose memory we dedicate this absolutely amazing gift. As an activist and poet, Vernita Gray was and continues to be well known in this community. I'm really saddened I didn't get to meet her personally. But the best story I heard about her was that she showed up at Shakespeare and Company in Paris to meet James Baldwin. And I thought at that moment, the 3 best things in life were all together in one story: Baldwin, Paris, and Shakespeare and Company. And it was at that moment I decided in my own very sick mind that Vernita and I would have been friends for life. And I think it is fitting that the friends of Vernita would come together to sponsor a plaque for Audre Lorde, and it really has been my privilege to help realize this vision. I think most of you who knew Vernita knew of her love for Audre Lorde, but perhaps fewer of you know why Lorde's voice was so influential to her and why it affected people like Vernita so profoundly. Audre Lorde I met only in books and on film. It was enough to convince this searching undergraduate that she had found a place in the world, that someone had reached inside this big brown body and mined my soul. Audre Lorde was able to harness the collective anger and the collective power of lesbian and women of color feminists who were systematically excluded from mainstream feminism and turn that into collective and definitive action.
Yeah.
Thank you. She looked us all in the face and reminded us that it is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. And then she told us to get up and do something. It is safe to say that both of these women were larger than life, in the best sense of what that means. Both fought tirelessly for LGBTQ people, for the rights of all women. Both used the pen and the pulpit. Both rallied us with their anger, their passion, and their steely resolve. And both died too soon. And both left a mark on the landscape of our scholarly and activist psyches that I don't think will ever be replaced. So while the plaque for Audre Lorde is in honor of Vernita's considerable memory, we are also lucky to benefit from this wonderful gift. It is for these reasons, among so many others, that Lorde continues to matter to a generation of feminists, and that I believe Vernita's work in all its spheres will also stand the test of time. Audre Lorde proclaimed herself a Black lesbian, mother, and warrior poet. So it is my great honor, as Victor said to me as we were speaking about this plaque, to help close the circle of this unique dedication to 2 amazing women who will be forever joined now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robin. It is my pleasure and honor to introduce to you Pat Ewart. I don't know if it's Mrs. Pat Ewart, but the widow of the one and only Benita Gray.
Thank you so much for being here today. This would make Bernita very, very happy to know that she's sharing this plaque. You young people, if you never had the opportunity to meet her, it's a loss. Gosh, I really don't know. This is Bernita's stepdaughter. Yeah.
Hi. Welcome.
She left a real mark in our city, on our hearts, and she will forever be missed. And this is a wonderful honor. Thank you all. It's the community that made this happen. Victor, Delila, Lori, everyone, thank you so much for making this possible.
I'd like to introduce Delila Freedy, who along with Lori Cannon headed up the effort to do this.
I will echo Pat's words. Thank you for being here. Bernita is looking at us from up there and saying, hey, great job. Continue the work. I was very lucky to have met Bernita, and she's responsible for my activism here in this country. Thank you for the community to honor her with this, and also this is for us as a community to have this. And this was one of her wishes also, to have Audre Lorde's plaque on this walk. So thank you, and please encourage everyone to come and walk this walk and look at these plaques. And thank you to the Legacy Walk for all the work that they do.
Thank you, Delila. Who's doing the honors? Shanoa Ked, Lincoln Park High School.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. Audre Lorde was a black lesbian of Caribbean descent who fought for social justice through poetry, teaching radical feminism, and civil rights activism. She declared, "I am defined as other in every group I'm part of. My sexuality is part and parcel of who I am. And my poetry comes from the intersection of me and my worlds." In her groundbreaking essay, "The Master's Tools Will Never Dismantle the Master's House," she criticized second wave white feminists who portrayed womankind as an undifferentiated block, stunning them with her claim that racism, classism, sexism, and homophobia were linked by a collective failure to recognize and tolerate difference. In 1977, Lorde became the poetry editor for the lesbian journal Chrysalis, a magazine of women's culture. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in 1978 and breathtakingly chronicled her struggles against and resistance to the disease in the Cancer Journals in 1980. In 1979, she was a featured speaker at the First National March on Washington for Lesbian and Gay Rights. Together with fellow writer Barbara Smith, Lorde co-founded Kitchen Table Women of Color Press in the late 1980s in order to promote the writings of black feminists. Concerned with global as well as local events, she co-founded Sisters in Support of Sisters in South Africa, known as SISA, to raise concerns about black women under apartheid. After accepting an offer to serve as a guest professor at the John F. Kennedy Institute of North American Studies at the Free University of Berlin in 1984, she remained there as a U.S. expatriate until 1992 to pursue activist work with the Afro-German population. Lorde received the Walt Whitman Citation of Merit in 1991, which recognized her as Poet Laureate of New York State. She took the name Gamda Adisa, which means warrior, she who makes her meaning known, in an African naming ceremony shortly before she passed away from liver cancer on November 17, 1992 in St. Croix. Audre Lorde, self-proclaimed black, lesbian, mother, warrior, and poet, was 58.
We welcome Audre Lorde and Vernita Gray to the Legacy Walk. This picture of Audre Lorde is just amazing because her eyes follow you as you're walking. And at night, it's like really creepy. It was like, but feel free to obviously take photographs. This concludes this portion of the ceremony. Thank you again for coming.